Welcome everybody. Manta, welcome. The Manta's here. Never too late for the Manta to be here. We are going to dive into BV versus Deusvulpe here, and to give you guys a quick look at the Civ draft, if that is of interest to you, here we have it. BBB has Indians, Celts, Spanish, Khmer, picked Mongols randomly, or the ban was random. I'm not exactly sure which one that is. I think it's the ban was random. And he bans Teutons. Deusvulpe has Sicilians, Turks, Lithuanians, which were sniped, Byzantines, and random picked Goths, banning Britons. No problem, Manta. But guys, we're gonna dive right in here to game number one on Battlegrounds between these two. Hitch is with me. Welcome, sir.
Good evening.
I will be paused at 5 seconds whenever you're ready.
Loading, loading, loading. BBB.
It's going to be Khmer for BB and Sicilians for Deusvulpe, so interesting. Haven't really seen this matchup. Sicilian's been picked pretty commonly in this tournament bracket.
Fair enough.
But it has been very interesting with Sicilians. I haven't given them enough time. I haven't played them much. Haven't really been playing enough to really judge how they are since the buffs they received. So interesting to see how they are playing.
When are we gonna get going?
Are you ready, sir?
Oh, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think the important thing to start off here is to notice that the desert it generated correctly.
Yes, it's a very important note. So we finally have that worked out, it seems. I actually really like how we've had to go through some interesting changes with these maps because I feel like they are much improved over the beginning, and it's been nice to see that develop through the last like month and a half, 2 months. No Hitch
Absolutely.
here has been extremely busy, and we need to show him all the thanks in the world because without him, we would not have these maps to play
Oh, you could have a tournament on dry lakes.
on. Tri-Lake only tournament.
Uh,
Listen, you're not supposed to
yeah.
put those ideas into my head.
Well, the changes are ongoing. You'll actually start to see after today's updates, the slopes on this map will no longer. There'll be a different terrain. So the changes
Oh,
continue.
so you did change that then.
Yes, there was a post about it earlier.
I thought that you were gonna do that to Dry Lake, not to this map. So very interesting.
Nope. Dry Lake already has different slopes.
All right. Well, very
Yeah.
intriguing indeed. We'll have to see that coming up soon then in an upcoming set.
All right. So who wins? Khmer Farm Eco or Sicilian weird counters?
Well, this is part of the issue for me. I don't really know where to put Sicilians right now. I haven't been watching Age other than these tournament games. I haven't really seen them used a whole bunch. So I'm going to stick with Khmer's farming eco here, just because I think that it's such an amazing thing for Khmer, as BBB unfortunately drops a goat way outside of his town center here. Also saw that we had the ostrich being pushed here for Deusvulpe, so be very interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. I think it's going to depend on when what plays out, right? Like the Khmer don't have any bonuses for anything that you really expect them to go here, right? Other than the farming eco, right? I mean, you don't expect to see probably elephants. You don't expect to see a ton of scorpions probably on normal battlegrounds. Um, so what, you figured night play, or what do you expect one of those other options?
I mean, I feel like we've seen more scorpions in the last 20 days of casting this tournament than I've seen in the last 2 years of playing Age. So, like, I want to say that we're not going to see them, but I think we are going to see
Well,
quite a few of
it's
them.
I'm not talking about whether or not you see them. I'm talking about whether or not that's the strategy.
I mean, against
Like,
Sicilians, I think it is. If you don't
well, and
scout
that's
a stable for
yeah,
them.
and that's kind of one of the things I was getting at. It was like if the Sicilians kind of put in a spot right where going infantry is not probably a long-term option. Setting that aside, though, I mean, any bonus damage is halved. I think earlier on, the Khmer's lack of a real relevant military bonus in feudal and mid game could mean that Sicilian scouts and knights could get a lot done, right? I mean, with pikes as a counter being a lot less effective than you normally see, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this is played. And I feel like Khmer archers wouldn't even be that bad against Sicilians if need be, especially going into like Castle Age if they want to go crossbow. I think that's definitely an option for them here. But it's going to be interesting to see how these two play it out. Both scouts pretty close here for the last minute or so. Just been watching them.
BBB going for the hunt in the middle.
BUB also already clicking up here.
Yeah. So well, we don't have much to say because we're noobs who don't know what's going on with these two civs. How do you feel about the choice of luring extra boars with vills, with scouts, versus coming on the middle for the ostriches in this case? Like, what do you think? What is your option if you were playing this tournament?
I mean, you've seen how I've played this. I like to go out forward and put Vills on the hunt out in the mid, and then just have spears to defend. I think that is you're almost guaranteed that not almost guaranteed, I guess. We have seen some fast castle attempts, but more often than not it's scouts for both sides. So if you can get
Mm-hmm.
out and get up, say you get 20, 21 pop up at the most, and then you can put a few defensive spears there, I feel like the food income is undeniably very exceptional on the hunt, even though bringing in one elephant or boar is quite effective as well. It's the simple fact of the more idle time I feel like you end up with because you're going out with one, coming back, and I like the presence in the middle of the map early.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I would almost lean toward, right? It's like you get a lot of idle time anyway if you use vills to get the elephant. Plus, you probably need to get loom for most of them. The other you lose HP on your scout, which can be devastating. Um, but yeah, I think if you go out to the hunt, it's real fast. Once you get that mill up, you have the option of going to the berries as well. You can take the boar out there, and it lasts longer if you keep going. Right, you can spread as long as you're safe. I think it gives you a longer term benefit compared to taking a boar tube in. But I feel like taking the boar might be better short term, right? If you're trying to get up quicker, if you're trying to
Mm.
get scouts out quicker, it might be an advantage to bring the boar in rather than send vills out.
Yeah, and it's really important to note here there is no barracks for BBB, so no spear is going to be in defense as he's going straight scouts, so all these villagers will be quite exposed out here should his opponent send scouts in that direction.
I mean, it feels a little odd because we see so many spearmen and defense players who go out to the middle here. They're using the Khmer bonus, and maybe it'll be worthwhile to streamline his build.
Yeah, a few idols here on the wood line for Deusvulpe, unfortunately, but that spear going to chase these scouts away for the most part.
Now, with it's Khmer, I mean,
Now, I
yeah,
like this with Khmer. He takes the risk to leave the vills out here in the mid, uses that Khmer bonus, and jumps into the house. So,
I'm sure that's why he built that house there.
yeah, I think that was the plan all along, as scouts are going to be attacking vills here. Should get at least two, it looks like, because of the 1 HP, the one being so low, and then we'll
Yep,
run out with
two
the
go
others.
down.
He has yet to
That's
lose
very.
any himself as well. A barracks has been rushed up here for BBB, but Threeville's still working this whole time.
I almost that the house is such a strong bonus in this situation. I almost wonder if it's the reason for the Khmer pick.
I think it has to be. I don't see I don't see why that would not be a very planned choice here, as he will finally lose a Ville on the front. Spear will come forward, so these scouts won't do too much more. But
What do you think? What do you think of super walls here from Deusvulpe?
yeah, he's walling up a lot. But honestly, what is he really walling here? The wood lines? Like, he's got 2 stones in his walls, gold and stone to the north walled out. He's got 1 gold pile, not even fully walled in here. Feels very, very rough here. As another Ville goes down, and the 2 scouts will go down here for Deusvulpe. So ultimately, a interesting exchange, but I think still being out in the middle here, I like it. Yeah, Geo in chat talking about how it's all this idle time to wall like this. And yeah, there is one villager still sitting there at the end of the wall that's yet to be complete on the one side. So there, it's finally been reacted to. I don't like the big walls on this map. I really don't. I don't know why players are continuing to try to do this, honestly. I feel like the smaller walls, the better.
I mean, if this was one of those games with more res and there were piles of res back in that empty space, sure, but you're not securing anything but the corner wood, and honestly, you shouldn't be worrying about that right now. The wood on the side will last you for a long time before you need to go to the corner.
Oh, you mean Khmer? I mean, I like the house though. It's really effective. He should have had spears there sooner, but I still think that that is a very nice bonus. It is idle time, but it's idle time whenever you're out in the middle. I feel like it's more worthwhile, as we're going to see another stable come down here for Deusvulpe. So he will be going into stable units, no doubt. And these villas still out here in the mid. I mean, the Khmer House strategy definitely going to be paying off here with food income. It's no question it's been giving him quite a bit here. And with Khmer Farms, I mean, he is getting farms down, has quite a few of them. 16. The 16th farm is coming down right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want to comment on. It definitely feels like the Sicilian economy is falling behind between the various Vil losses, between he didn't take any res from the middle. I don't even know if he it doesn't even look like he tried to get goats because there was a goat there that wasn't taken on his side. So
Yeah.
he just completely ignored the middle, um, and he has less farms. So you have less farms. You're not in the middle. It doesn't bode well for his economy long term, I think.
Yeah, he is getting wheelbarrow, and BBB has decided to start walling up more at home now, so both players going to have pretty safe economies here. 2 spears forward, but ultimately those aren't going to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, spears, especially in feudal age, villagers can probably fight those off fairly well themselves.
Yep, Castle Age for BBB. Deusvult has gone for a wheelbarrow and isn't too far from clicking up himself, but will be behind a decent bit.
Yeah, I mean, by the time they're both up, you're going to look at him being behind 8 bills. It could be concerning.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing that we'll have to see here is, will he go for a boom or will he go for this 2 stable production? If he goes for a boom, it's going to be very difficult to keep the knights out from BBB here. And BBB is putting down his second stable as well, so I'd expect to see stable production from him. We already have 2 stables here for Deusvulpe, so I think we should see him go to stable production, but no definitive answer just yet. What do you think about the walls from BBB here? They feel very awkward. Still very open, and he's investing a lot of time with villagers to wall this in right now. I think it was even worth it at this point. Castle Age does come in for a BBB here, and we will see Knight production instantly. Deusvulpe also on his way up is getting his upgrades. Bloodlines and Scale Barding Armor did just complete. Spears, Gestation Spears. These villagers here in the middle have gotten at least 6 ostrich, I believe, and a whole patch of berries. We also have BBB headed forward with a Vil here, so potentially gonna see some forward siege. Maybe over here near this gold. And ultimately, I would imagine his first TC will be in the middle of the map here. Spears still chasing. Oh, actually this will be a town center in the middle of the map with one villager. That feels quite awkward. Need to send those 5 over there to help as well. But scouts and knights going to find a villager pickoff here. Kind of double walls up here for Deusvulpe, so he's trying to be very safe. Chain Barding Armor already on its way in, so he will have +2. And he will have Forging as well, so he will have the superior upgrades at the moment. As compared to BB, he's going to focus his eco a bit more here. Also constructing the market to try to balance that eco out. Very nice spot here though for a BB to be in the center. As, 2 Vils going to be caught out here by the one knight and a scout. Quite awkward. Upgrades very, very much in favor of Deusvulpe right now. But ultimately, BB doesn't have to take the fight. His TC does go up here in the mid. And actually, he's elected to go onto stone here. So, it's going to be very interesting. Walls. One house. Just gets that down in time. Just in time. So, Deusvulpe getting things taken care of. Monastery addition here from BBB as well. Alright, so Chain Barding Armor is being researched now for BBB. He will still be missing Forging, but ultimately numbers are slightly in his favor, so if he waits for Chain Barding and maybe a monk, he could take a fairly good exchange. He is not going to wait though, going to take that fight right now, and I believe he loses this pretty heavily here at this point.
Yeah, I mean, less knights for BBB, less armor. It's not great.
Yeah, Deusvulpe actually choosing to run away though. Should have kept taking the fight back then, but I mean,
Yeah.
nonetheless, it is a bit awkward now. He has reinforced a little bit, so more numbers here now for Deusvulpe. Monk edition and another stable coming up forward here, and I was commenting earlier, I really, really like this TC position for BBB.
Oh yeah, great TC. I mean, food, stone, gold. What more could you ask for? Right near the middle of the map, kind of blocks up that pathway. So.
Yep, conversion does come in here on one night, but ultimately, a lot of low HP knights mixed in here. Still should be favorable for BBB. Conversion definitely helping
Yeah,
out.
the production just isn't there right now for Deusvulpe. Is he trying to go up? It seems okay. No, he's queuing up more knights now. It just seems like he's not being as consistent with the production right now.
Yeah, they've both had like a little bit of like a lull in between because they've both been adding the second town center and creating their eco. Obviously, BBB hasn't been under a whole lot of pressure and has definitely kept that villager lead quite nicely here as he's up by 14 villagers right now. Scout gonna try to pick off this monk and will succeeds. Very nice pick off. Monk's being very exposed here.
Yeah,
Has
I
not been in a
mean,
great spot.
I think it's pretty common, right, to keep your monk near TC, and we have TCs nearby like this. I think monks by the TC could be sniping knights when they get too close and hopping in for safety, but It's a lot of gold wasted so far for BBB on a
Yep.
map that's not particularly heavy on gold.
Yeah, BBB having an interesting time here. He's really trying to force Vills out of both TCs right now, and that's really hurting his production. He's taking some really ill-advised fights as well. Still
Yeah, but
lacking,
he's kept the number advantage though, 10-8.
yeah, still lacking the blast furnace upgrade or iron casting, whichever one's in Castle Age. I can't remember. Another TC up here for BBB with just one Vil building it.
Hey, I mean, maybe he feels good about his control of the central position. His reinforcements are coming that way, so.
Yep, and
Oh,
Mangonel's going to be the choice here from the Siege
oh,
Workshop as
he
well.
accidentally takes the villager off the knights. Oh no, the villager's going to battle.
Yeah. And it's going to be a little bit awkward here. He's still missing one upgrade. He's taking a very awkward position here. Needs to not take
Quick
fights downhill.
research supremacy, quick.
Sanctity, not supremacy, but
No, I'm
I know
for
what
the
you mean.
villager.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, though, BBB sitting in a very nice position. He's got most of the map under his control in the mid here, and town center should be going up here shortly as well. Mangonel is going to be going towards this town center over here. About to be a big fight.
Yeah, these two TCs are starting to make things look very awkward for Deusvulpe. I mean, he's going to be cut off from most of the map, most of the gold.
Hmm.
By going out to the middle and taking these gold piles, BBB is not only taking that now, but he also has these other gold piles on the left to fall back on later if necessary. Well, Deusvulpe not like one gold pile in the south that you could expand to at this point comfortably.
Yeah, and an awkward fight there for both, but it just seems like the numbers are just slightly in favor of BBB here.
Yeah, 23 to 13. It's not slight.
Yeah, I don't like fighting under this TC though. Still
Yeah, I
will win the
mean,
fight here, but
if he's going to do it, I would like him to at least snipe the Vil for pairing. But
yeah, Mangonel does go down. We should see a castle. Yep, there's the castle from BB. He has enough for two castles actually, so going to be able to
yeah,
pressure. And honestly, with this middle map control, if he can continue to produce like this, he's going to be running over Deusvulpe here, as there's another castle after this one coming far forward.
yeah, that's an odd castle. I don't love that. Doesn't deny any resource. I mean, it gets secure at that front of the base. So if you're camping your knights there, you can make things really uncomfortable. But I'm not in love with it. I would have preferred him going the southern route, and denying that other gold, breaking open the wall, getting castle up on the hill, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this other castle forward either. I mean, he will be able to get it up. It will be.
Unless this knight snipes it.
Yeah, no quick walls. He already lost a few villagers there, so I mean, Deusvulpe does know that is trying to go up there. Knights are out of position here for BBB, but I think he's gonna lose all these villas he sent forward, and this I still feel like you said, it should be on the hill on the bottom left of Deusvulpe's base here,
Yeah.
but ultimately chooses to delete, and gonna
I mean,
build it just in front of his other one here. So
oh,
just wants to
I
get
hate that.
another
That's where
one up here. It looks
where
like.
the first one should have been. The first one should have been there, and then this would have been okay.
That's still not a
Uh,
great position to take the fight in here. It's taking a lot of TC fire, castle fire as well for Deusvulpe, but this castle should go up. Should not be a question now. This one, and then this town center is rangeable, so interesting. We do have a villager for Deusvulpe forward, sitting next to this gold mine. Yeah,
yeah, he's
ultimately, map control is a very crucial point here, and soon there won't be many gold piles that Deusvulpe can take on this side of the map.
No, there will not be.
Town Watch even coming in here for BUB. He wants to see everything in the middle. Which he really does. He has full control over the middle except for this one little corner. He also did get that second attack upgrade at some point, so equal upgrades now. And now we see Deusvulpe starting to place a barracks here on the left, so he knows he's in trouble with gold, and his time with gold is short.
Yeah, I mean, incredible how fast players go through gold on this map with the night production, isn't it? I mean, lots of piles cleaned up at home, piles cleaned up in the middle. It's something.
Yeah, but it's one of the most crucial resources, and having to move out and secure it makes it a very awkward situation. It's kind of like a gold rush type strategy deal. Like you only have limited time with the gold at home, more so here than gold rush, of course, but ultimately very limited timing.
Yeah, and we do see Deusvulpe going on that one gold that he kind of has available on the bottom. Yeah, it's just long term favors BBB here. And unfortunately, Deusvulpe is behind, so he's already behind, and we don't see a lot of openings for him to get more ahead.
Yeah, and he has the resources to click imp here very shortly. If he sells just a little bit of stone or food or wood, he's up. So Deusvult nowhere near, doesn't have the food eco, researching into pikemen now, and pikemen may trade better against the knights, but scorpion's always an option here for Khmer.
Yeah, I mean, and scorpions are already being produced in most siege workshops that are coming up. So I'm almost expecting we're gonna see this text come in and full scorpion excitement soon.
Yeah, and a lot of ills have to run from this town center right now. Knights are chasing, and it's not looking good for Deusvult here in game one, as the population is going to start to drop pretty
Yeah.
rapidly here.
I do have to complain about the lack of use out of these knights from BBB though. I mean, they could have been raiding gold. He hasn't been scouting his opponent space actively. If he was, he could have attacked that gold and killed 10, 15 villagers a long time ago.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of a passive play here. He is on his way to Imperial Age. I think we might even just see an Imperial Age GG here.
You know, you say that kind of thing a lot, but it's yet to ever happen when we've been while casting.
Just given the score line over there, although wait, we have knights in the base of BBB, so Vills are gonna go down here. A lot of Vills actually could go down here.
Yeah, we do, and it's nice, but I mean, he's not going to kill 26 vills, and that's how many he needs to kill to even out the vill lead.
Yeah, and ultimately he's sending forward a bunch of Vills just to put another castle down to secure the map even more for himself, as the military for Deusvulpe is just dying to castle fire over here. Um, Knights will be upgraded to Cavalier soon, and Cavalier are going to do just fine against everything that Deusvulpe has. Even with these low numbers of pikes, they won't stand a chance. Trebuchets are out as well, are being researched, are created.
Yeah, I like the castle here from Deusvulpe, but just too little, too late when you're this far behind, and the enemy's going to have trebs on the field.
Yeah, and there's no way he's getting to Imp. He's got 30 on food, and he can't manage to get more than 500 of it at a time because he has to keep producing to stay in the game.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, BBB's economy in a very awkward position now. He only has 11 on food and 39 on gold.
That's true. He does have a bunch of knights, but once those go away, if he doesn't fix his eco issues, it's going to be much more difficult to continue. He has yet to refresh his lumber camp in the back as well. Villagers walking forever to drop wood off of that lumber camp.
Yeah, and wood is an issue with him. I mean, 32 vills on wood, but he only has 100 in the bank because of that lumber camp. It's
Oh,
you
and
know, the
Deusvulpe gonna snipe 2 trebuchets on the front here at the cost of
Two
just edging
trebuchets that
units.
BB cannot afford to replace really gold or wood wise. So so just great map control, great map control from BBB, but his economy is lacking, and I feel like he's just been way too passive with his military. Like these Cavalier could break through on the right side and pressure Deusvulpe's base.
Yep, and Imperial Age on its way here for Deusvulpe as well. So
Yeah, and that's your reward for being too passive, right? For BBB, I mean, you have the tech advantage, you have a lead. He's not using it. He's being slow and methodical with these trebs when
yeah,
he could win this game on the right with his Cavalier.
yeah, he could have broken through there no problem, and then sent the Trebs forward or with Scorpions to defend or something if he wanted to. But
Oh, oh, exactly. I mean, the Cavalier could break down a house on the right side in 10 seconds and be raiding the eco, and then the Trebs wouldn't have to worry, wouldn't need a defense because all the military would have to go into the base to fight. I mean, BBB would have to mess up pretty hard to lose at this point. He's just not winning very efficiently.
yeah, yeah, and these pikemen, if we get Imperial Age and have enough time, halves will come in, and then the Cavalier will be in a lot worse shape here than just against pikemen. But
Yeah,
Scorpion numbers at 8, about to take some really decent shots here.
yeah, but still no lumber camp from BBB. He could have triple this number of scorpions if he had any wood. He has 3,000 gold, but can't spend it because he doesn't have any wood.
Yeah, Scorpion's doing work, but Champ or Cavalier not attacking. Again, we see a very weird attack stance from players. Does end
I'm
up winning the
yeah,
fight there, but at the cost of a bit more than I think it should have been.
absolutely. I just find it incredible that we're in this 1400 bracket and we still have players playing like they're against the AI, and they won't attack until they boom up to Paladin with all upgrades and 100 pop.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of feudal damage, like to the point where feudal is extended, except for a few really nasty tower rush games. But nonetheless, BBB will be taking game number 1 here. And then we will move on to Deusvulpe's home map here in just a minute, guys, which I believe is Dry Lake.
Dry Lake, as in Kados' unupdated non-Battlefield custom version.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that. They played on the wrong version. That's quite unfortunate for them. But I mean, we're going back to the original map for this one, guys. Make sure you guys pay attention to which one you're picking in the future if you guys are here. Nonetheless, it will be Dry Lake. And we have some interesting civilization choices here. I'm at 5 seconds when you're ready.
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go. So, BBB going for Indians. I think Indians are a good pick on this map. And then we have Turks from Deusvulpe. We have seen Turks picked an interesting number of times between the 1200 bracket and 1400 bracket. So we'll see if this one works out here for Deusvulpe. I think Turks definitely very, very low tier civ, and personally wouldn't choose them in this type of situation. But
I
does
definitely disagree with that. Turks are very good, very, very good place right now.
well, they're in a better place than they have been, yes, but I still am not a fan of where they are.
I think this is just 2016 Juice playing on HD talking. He hates the Turks, gets random Turks, and gets really upset. No, I mean the Turks, the armor on their their scout line makes it very nice. late game as shields against archers. And it's nice for raiding. They hold up really well under TC Castle and Tower Fire compared to other scouts. They get the upgrades for free, so when they get up to Castle and Imperial Age, they get like Cav and Hustle right away. It's really strong Cav archers. And obviously they have their great gunpowder options. I don't think they're bad on a map like this where you can wall up and push out with your own scouts.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're not a terrible civ. Just I still don't think they're top tier. And I think on a map like this, I would prefer to pick someone like Aztecs, Britons, Ethiopians, Incas, Mayans, But I mean, it's gonna be really interesting because honestly, we have really good cav archers for both sides. We have good camels on both sides, so gonna be kind of interesting matchup to see here. And I don't think either civ here really wants to go into any sort of infantry. Like you said, Turk infantry pretty much non-existent, but with their gunpowder units, it's hard to go against them with any sort of infantry. Obviously here early on it's possible. And oh, BBB has joined the mill in the middle.
Hey, if you're the Indians, use your bonus, right?
I love this. No mill at home, though. Is it going to be worth it? That's the question.
Yeah,
We're
well, what would he mill? What would he mill at home, though? I mean,
the deer. We're talking about 600 shorefish compared to 5 deer. So, pretty close exchange, but faster income. Probably better off to go with this.
also more vulnerable, so it's really going to come down to how Deusvulpe plays this. I mean, he could very easily go scouts here and punish this if he gets up quick.
Yeah, and what's his eco looking like right now? He's at 15 veils. He's very heavy on to the deer. And let's see, what did he seen? He has yet to bring in boar, actually. Not a single boar brought in here from Deusvulpe.
Yeah, I mean, his scout is idle. It's moving now, but maybe he hasn't scouted the way
No,
he
he
should.
sees all of them.
Well, but he might not be going to them now because he had to go to the hunt earlier if he didn't find them in time. The
That's true.
boar are definitely different spawning on this old incorrect version of Dry Lakes. On the current version, you'll have one that's at least closer to make it not so awkward.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he's still not in a bad position. Obviously, going to be able to continue to produce villagers. He's now out of those deer. He sees some more down here in the south, so he's going to go there. Hopefully, we'll be headed back and going to start off with the boars. But ultimately, at the same time, we're going to have going to be 6 vills here. Going to be depleting those stockpiles in the water as we see a drush coming in here from BBB. Going to be very, very nice if he goes around here. He is going to be housed though, so has to rush it up with 5 vills under the TC. Which honestly, I like that decision to rush it up that quickly.
It's a wonder that Manta wins any games with his strict policy of never killing villagers.
Yes, he likes to get angry at people killing vills. So, alright, we do have 5 vills over here trying to hunt for Deusvulpe, and BB does see the dead deer carcass, or is sitting right on top of it, should see it, and could very easily get a villager, but I don't think he'll get more than that with all these vills here at full HP.
And but with a drush, getting a villager is a big win. So
Yeah, and it's going to cause a good bit of idle time, and actually Feudal Age on its way in from BBB. He's already taken over half of the fish in the mid, as this Vil that's wandering around here will go down. One more
yeah,
hit. Down she goes. So Drush has already paid off. And unfortunate quick walls coming in here for Deusvulpe. And it looks like he's actually going to lose another if he doesn't micro it away.
he could. He could even lose 3 here.
Yeah, I think he's going to. He keeps fighting, and he's taking a rough engagement. Nice micro here for the low HP units for BBB. Oof,
He
three
could
vills.
he oh if he targets the right one, he mm,
Might be
yep, he's gonna
four.
get 4. This is a brutal drush. This is GG drush. Like oof.
Does not get the fourth. The villager survives with 1 HP, but Feudal Age already in, and it will be archery range here, so he's going to not go for scouts. Feels bad, actually. He's just now shifting onto gold, so. But you know what? This is unexpected. His opponent has no idea what to expect here, other than scouts. What I would not expect archers at all.
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
at the same time though, Deusvulpe, if you're fighting archers versus scouts, the best scouts to have are probably Turk scouts. So
yes.
assuming that Deusvulpe gets the barracks down and makes the military, the fights will be pretty good for him. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a barracks.
Yeah, spent all this time walling and just now getting the barracks down. This will be double range production from BBB soon.
Yeah, and yeah, Deusvulpe's going to be in trouble here. I mean, his economy is a mess, just a complete mess.
Yeah, he's actually forced to drop farms here and now, and he will have just enough to get a stable up, but honestly, BBB with this risky move coming out early, it gonna pay off. The Drush does tons of damage here. Good, good build for BBB here. Worked out well for him. Very risky though, going to these shorefish. Archers are out, but no upgrades on those just yet. So going to take a good bit longer to kill Vills here. And you know, really awkward position. Still no range or art or military building other than the barracks from Deusvulpe.
Yeah, but what does it matter with BBB being this slow? Like why? Like I feel like the archers should have been quicker.
I
They should have
agree.
been more. They should have been faster.
He
I
is
mean, that's
sending
still
them
gonna.
in now, but like,
Yeah, he's still gonna get in. It's just the same thing as last game, right? It's not that BBB isn't winning. It's not like he doesn't have the lead here. It's just he's not as far ahead as he should be in this circumstance. Um, it just makes me worry about him going forward in the tournament. Assuming he wins this game or the next.
yeah, he is going to be in a fine position to win this game and potentially advance. So definitely something he'll have to work on with his aggression here. Uh, and a sorry man GG comes in real quick with seeing the archers. So BBB will take it. Uh, Drush just doing so much damage there, ultimately
Yeah,
giving BBB the win.
yeah. When you lose 3, almost 4 vills to a drush, and then before you can get your second military building down, you see 6 archers. Um, no one can blame Deathfall for he's out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was rough losing just like two, but to lose three and almost a fourth, all that idle time, it's rough one for Desvault. So I do not blame him for tapping out there. But BBB will move on, and we'll have to work on some aggression there to survive into the later rounds of the tournament. Now, for those of you here on Twitch, we will continue on here in a moment. We are going to update the bracket, however, and then we will be loading into another set. So if you guys do not want to see any spoilers, whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube later on, look away now. Now is your chance to leave the channel, close your eyes, mute things, whatever you wish to do. But we are going to do that update now. It's here on the bracket. We have BBB and Deusvult. BBB does take the series 2 games to none. And we'll move on, and he will be facing Skamaz. So we are going to cast the Gothfather versus Andrew next for those who are interested. If you guys did watch this on Twitch, thank you guys, and we are continuing. YouTube, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.